So for my video today, I wanted to talk about something that came up recently when I was doing my consulting. And basically, this guy was starting out. I mean, he is starting out, and he wants to start getting ratings and reviews, and he wants to kind of get his career going. And he was saying, though, that he could try something where he charges very little for his work so he can get some of those ratings and reviews, get a portfolio, get something going, and then later raise the rate. But he was saying, but he feels kind of bad because he feels like he's shortchanging all the translators who are out there, and it kind of creates bad blood or ill will if you do something like that. So I wanted to address this away because this does come up quite often. I remember when I went to the Carolina Association of Translators and Interpreters Conference, the KD conference, it was a big thing. They were talking about how new translators coming up try and charge less than the current translators, and that's bad for translation overall and stuff like that. And there are two basic schools of thought for this. One says that says, okay, when a new person comes in, if they charge very little, or if someone undercharges for their job, then it means that the established translators, or the translators who are good, are the ones who could get the job and who are actually good at what they do. They don't get the job because they're being undercut by this downward pricing thing. And there's another school of thought that says, well, I mean, someone when they're starting out, they have to find a way to start out. If that means charging less, then that's how it goes. And B, that's how the market works. If the people want to hire someone who charges less, then they're going to do that. And by the same token, if you're worth more, then the clients you already work with and who know you will pay you what you're worth. And, the market also works that way. People who are worth more get paid more in all types of industries, from finance to basketball to, whatever it might be. People who are worth more get paid more, and people who aren't worth that much get paid less. I mean, I see both sides. I think I fall a bit more into the second side because, we all had to start out. And so I understand how when you're first starting out, maybe you can't compete with people who are charging 10 cents a word. And so you feel like you need to charge a bit less. And, so yeah, you might steal some clients for people who charge 10 cents a word. That's the way it works. On the other hand, I'm a bit against it for a different reason. Because when you start, you have some people who decide, okay, then I'll start charging like 2 cents a word or 3 cents, something really, really low. And this can be dangerous because once you start charging that amount, it's almost impossible to raise the amount you charge. And not only with the client you charge them, anytime you work with them in the future, they're going to expect that amount. You can try raising it a bit, but chances are you won't be able to. But even with new clients, it's very hard because you kind of priced yourself into that price range. And let's face it, the low price range means that you get jobs, but they're done in a shoddy manner. People kind of expect something quick from you, even if it's kind of crappy, they don't care. And then that's it, because they might have another editor to go through it and make sure it's good, because they don't expect much for that cheap of a price. Anyway, for various different reasons, you kind of price yourself at that level. And it's very hard to get into a different level once you've priced yourself so low. So what is my advice? And I'll tell you the advice that I gave to this guy. And my advice was actually, don't do the downward spiral pricing game, but to actually charge nothing and to work for free. And there's several reasons for this. First of all, if someone is offering a job and say, I need this translated, and then you need ratings, reviews, you need a portfolio, you need to start out, you could charge very, very little. And let's face it, the money you make from that, especially if it's not too big of a job, it's negligible. And so that's why I think charging zero means obviously you won't get anything. But you can say, with the understanding, say, look, I'll do this for free, but in exchange, as long as you're happy with my translation, obviously, I'd really appreciate a good review. And if I could use this in my portfolio, stuff like that. And usually, in my experience, no one says no to a free review, right? And so this can be a very good way for getting ahead. And then you might say, oh, but what about the other translators? They'll be mad because I'm definitely stealing a job from them if I'm doing it for free. But I would counter this with two things. First of all, they know that that's not your price point. You can't keep doing something for free. You can do it a couple times, but if you're working for free for the next 3 months, 6 months, something like that, then you're never going to be earning any money, and that's not a strategy. That's not a way to earn money. And so when you do it for free, it's a one-off time, or a couple times, and then that's it. I would have the understanding, if I'm bidding for a job and someone else offers it for free, I mean, I understand they're getting started out, and that's their way of getting started out, and that's fine. I think I have more understanding for that than someone who plays a price game and tries to undercut me with price and keeps doing it. Because undercutting me in price, they can keep doing it for years and years and years to come. But when you're doing it for free, it's a one-time thing or a couple-time thing. And so I have more patience with that, and I think that's generally the case. A, and B, the other thing is, if I put myself with the hat of a translation agency and someone says, oh, I'll translate this for free for a good review, nothing stops me from hiring someone else as well. I basically get 2 translations for the price of 1. And I think this happens quite often. So what they'll do is, you're offering a translation for free, they'll hire you, but in the meantime, they have a budget for this, they'll hire someone else. Because let's face it, if you're giving something for free, they won't say no, but they're not sure what you're going to spit out, what type of quality you'll have. And so they'll probably hire someone else as well. So I don't think you're even necessarily stealing a job from someone else when you offer it for free. And what they'll do is they'll see what you gave them compared to the person they paid a good amount, and then compare, and then and then see if your quality is any good or not. But so it means your quality should still be good, because you're doing it for free. Anything you spit out should always be good quality. I always say that. But anyway, so that's why I think it's better actually to work for free than it is for cheap. And I think working for cheap is it really puts you in that downward spiral, and it kind of limits you very much. But working for free can benefit you. So anyway, hopefully you can find it useful as well, especially if you're just starting out and you kind of need a strategy to start out, where those ratings and reviews that you get can be very important. I think this is a good strategy for starting out. So hopefully you find this useful. If you did, don't forget to click thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, etc., etc., etc. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye. Savedum.